Okay, so we're gonna dive deep into this tune. Great song. There's just a lot going on. So if we can kind of do this together, I'll walk you through the different parts. You've got your I guess your intro, but it's really kind of just a piece of the verse, your pre-chorus and your chorus, and that's really it. So when I say that's really it seems simple enough, but there's just a lot of changes going on. So let's kind of walk through those, and this is how I played it. The chords you need are a G, a B minor, a D, a C. There's an E minor in there. There's an A minor as well, but I don't typically play the A minor. I just kind of do it as a walking bass line note, but we'll get into that. And those are really your main chords. So let's kind of get into this. So it kicks off on the G. Okay? It just kind of vamps a little bit. So just listen to the tune. You kind of get that rhythm playing. Right? So you're going to be holding, so there are going to be different times of the tune where you're holding these chords longer than others. This is one of those examples when the verse starts, you're holding these first couple chords a little bit longer than you typically do. So it's a G, okay? You're going to hold that twice. I call it twice. It could be 2 bars each. B minor. Now we're going to switch to a C, a G, a D, and a C. So think of that verse as just kind of 2 parts. The first part is just the 2 chords you're holding for 2 bars each. It was long ago, right? Here we go. So again, G and B minor to start the verse, and then when it switches up, you're going to go to the C, to the G, to the D, to the C, and that's basically your meat and bones for the meat and potatoes, your bones for the verse. Okay, and that should repeat again. Same thing. We haven't changed anything up here yet. The next section, as we get those 4 chords, the first 2 are going to remain the same. That's going to be your C. Now we're going to go to a C, to the D, and you hold that for 2 bars. So this is how I do it. So let's do the verse. I'm going to just strum it for you so you can kind of just hear the changes. G, to the D, to the C. We're going to repeat the verse. We'll hold that twice. Back to the B minor. Once again, hold that twice. C. Everything's the same now until this. Back to the C. To the D, 2 bars. Okay? Now, as I mentioned, there's parts of the song that are very structured. I think the pre-chorus is probably one of the most structured parts of this tune, one of the most recognizable, and I think this is where you gotta, nail these cues. And we're only talking about, I think it's 3 chords. So there's going to be several lines to this pre-chorus. Each one is starting with an E minor. So that takes care of that, right? So you know it's going to be E minor coming into it. Okay, the first line of the pre-chorus. D to the G. What was it? Alright, back to E minor. We're going to change the D up with a C. To the G, we're going to land on that again. So all we're doing is changing that second chord from a D to a C. So it's C, G, okay, E minor, back to the D, to a C, end up on the D, which is your transition into the chorus, which just happens to be the same chords for the, at least the same part of the verse, okay? So let's do the pre-chorus again real quick. Transition chord of the D. Against the wind. So when you get into that chorus, the first 4 chords are basically, this is the first 4 chords we were kind of using in the verse before. Well, I shouldn't say that because the first 2 chords for sure, the G and the B minor, C, to the G. Okay, so again, let's do it together again. It's the G. It's the wind. It's the wind. Okay. Now this next section is basically a walk down, and you can play the chords. I prefer to kind of do some bass line notes, and it seems to work. I guess just kind of you know, over the years learning Springsteen songs, I kind of show you how I double up some notes here, and I can get away with it, okay? So, but the chords would be, for that walk down, C, B minor, A minor, C, to the G, which now is another transition chord back into the verse. So, let's do it together. Against the wind. So it's going to go. And I just kind of played that G a little bit different just for the move. But I do it with the bass line kind of playing. So here's how I do it with the bass line. So what I'm doing there, I'm playing just a C chord basically. I'm anchoring my pinky on the high E string on the 3rd fret for that G note. So it's, so I got my C note there. There's my B for the B minor. I open it up for the A minor, back to the C, to the G. Okay, this is going to repeat. That's all it does. There's going to be a bit of a solo with the piano, and I don't even know if there's any guitar in there. Maybe some you know, music, kind of ambient music type of thing. It's going to just keep repeating. But when you go into that solo, you land on the G, and it's going to stay there for a while. So you're kind of vamping on that, and then you'll hear the change, and it goes back into what we've already done. And the only other part of this tune that's going to change, well, not change, there's one more part that's going to change, and then the outro, which is just 2 chords. So we talked about this walk down. That last time you do that walk down, or those chords, whatever you want to do, there's a slight change. You're going to start on the C, A minor, right? It's going to be, so it's going to be, I'm sorry, C, and you're just kind of hanging on that D. So, and then there's the outro, which is just a C and a G. Right? So just those 2 chords. I don't even know how many times that happens, but it's going to continue on. That's how it goes. The song fades out, however you want to do it. That's really it. So that's most of your tune right there. Depending how you want to do it, it's up to you, but I kind of gave it the way that I've done it. It goes over well. You know, I really do wish I could actually sing as well as play, because I would just love to be able to kind of just jam solo acoustic, but I can't. So this is what I got. So enjoy it. Definitely check out the stuff I mentioned before. If you haven't done so, check out The River by Bruce Springsteen. That's a great example of another tune like this, which is very structured. Right? And that kind of structure just goes out through the entire song. So check it out. Thank you. See you in the next video.